My Biggest Mistake by Sudha Murthy. In my computer science class, once I gave a very tough problem to my students. Programming is an art to some extent. When the same problem is given, different students use different methodologies to arrive at the same result. I never insist on a single method and allow my students their freedom. The problem was very difficult, and I myself took almost a week to solve it. When I brought my solution to class, my students wanted to check it. I gave my diskette to one of them, Nalini, and said, "Please copy this program on your diskette and return mine. This is the only copy I have, so be careful." Everyone gathered around. Nalini inserted the diskette in the computer drive. While she was talking to me, by mistake, she formatted the floppy. Formatting is nothing but clearing all the information on the diskette. Everybody was stunned. Then they looked at me. Nalini was in tears. They were aware that I had spent one whole week trying to find a solution to this problem. For a while, I was very upset. But after 5 minutes, I cooled down and smiled. A smile can make tension disappear and is the best medicine in a friendship. After all, my students are my young friends. When I smiled, the bubble of tension broke. I got up from my chair. Nalini was sobbing. "Madam, I am very sorry. I did not do it purposely. Please forgive me." "I know you did not do it on purpose, Nalini. None of my students can do such a thing. Accidents do not require an invitation. Anybody can commit mistakes. If someone says he has never ever committed a mistake, then he must be a robot, not a human being. Even our gods and our great rishis committed mistakes. Let us put our heads together and see if we can redo the program." Somebody asked me, "Madam, how can you be so cool when you have spent so much time on that?" Yes, I am aware of it. I will somehow steal some time and try to write the program again. I am cool because I also committed a similar mistake when I was young. My students immediately switched the topic from computer science to storytelling. I told them my story. When I was young, I was very sensitive about what people said about girls. If they said, "Girls cannot do that," immediately I used to feel I should do it just to prove them wrong. I wanted to show the world that girls can do everything. Today I laugh at this logic. Men can do certain things well, and women other things. Men and women are complementary to each other. One need not prove one's strength. That time, I was working in a computer software firm as a system analyst. It was way back when computer hardware was not advanced. Today, you have a tiny floppy of 3.5 inches. At my time, a huge 15-kilogram heavy tandem disk drive was used. Casually, my boss made a comment one day, "This disk is very heavy. Only men can carry it." That remark upset me a lot. I told him, "I will carry it and show you." The disk was a bit like a gramophone, but very heavy and large. It contained vital information of the company, like its finances, employee details, etc. I took the disk and walked to the boss's room. It was really very heavy, but I did not show it on my face. I believe strongly that showing emotions on your face is a sign of weakness. Today, I feel one should be as transparent as possible. Seeing me walk in with the disk, my boss was surprised. "How did you manage to bring this?" he asked. Without thinking, in my happiness at having proved him wrong, I lifted my hand and left the disk. In a fraction of a second, it fell and broke into pieces. The noise could be heard throughout the office. Everyone turned to look at me. It was the biggest mistake anyone had ever committed in the history of the company. It was an unforgivable error. The company's entire vital data was wiped out in a minute. I stood there dumbstruck. Because of my foolish behavior, the whole company was going to suffer. An employee should always work for the betterment of the company. But what had I done? I was so numb, I could not even cry. I went back to my desk and sat quietly. After thinking for a while, I knew what I should do. I took a blank sheet of paper and wrote my resignation on it. That was the only way I felt I could atone for my mistake. I went to my boss's chamber and gave him the letter. Then I stood there, my head bowed in shame. He read the letter carefully. Then he tore it up. He said, "Everybody commits mistakes. I took a backup of the information on the disk before you lifted it. The data is still intact in the storeroom. You don't have to worry. Repentance itself is a punishment, and you have repented enough. You should not be so sensitive. Sensitive people suffer a lot in life. Go and do your work. I did not have any words to say to him. Now, I looked at Naledi and told her, it was also my mistake. I should have made a copy of such an important program. Please do not worry. I will rewrite the program. I still have some notes at home. That incident taught me that when you become a leader, you should be kind and forgiving to your subordinates. It is not fear that binds you to your boss. Affection, openness, and the appreciation of your qualities builds a long-lasting relationship. We spend a lot of time at our workplaces. This time should be spent in happiness, not in blaming each other. My students broke out into applause. Well, thanks for reading with me. Have a great day.